Buenas tardes a todas las personas que nos acompañan aquí en el auditorio y a quienes nos acompañan por las redes del CEICH y de RISEC. Y bueno, también un saludo a quienes podrán ver esta grabación un poquito más adelante. El día de hoy yo estoy muy contenta, muy orgullosa de poder haber concretado al final de este año esta tercera conferencia organizada en el marco de RISEC, de la Red Internacional de la Sostenibilidad para la Economía Circular. Y bueno, tenemos a la doctora Patricia Huereca del Instituto de Ingeniería, con quien siempre es pues, un gran orgullo poder participar, colaborar con ella, y a una invitada muy especial que ha estado haciendo un trabajo de campo súper interesante en nuestro país, en Cisal, al sur de México, quien nos presentará algunas reflexiones a partir de su trabajo de campo. Sin más, le dejaré la palabra a la doctora Huereca para que nos dé unas breves palabras sobre esta iniciativa de RISEC y luego poder iniciar la conferencia. Muchas gracias.
Buenos días. Les damos las gracias a quienes están aquí presentes en la conferencia y a quienes están de manera virtual. Para mí es un gusto y un honor estar una vez más en este ciclo de conferencias que se organizan desde la Red Internacional para la Sostenibilidad en la Economía Circular, RISEC. En esta ocasión le doy las gracias a la doctora Ayari Pasquier por organizar, coordinar esta conferencia, al igual que lo ha hecho con las anteriores. Y es un gusto presentarles a ustedes a Dianne Gorcy. Dianne es licenciada en Ciencias Políticas y cuenta con una maestría también en Ciencias Políticas por la Universidad de Liège, Bélgica. Y actualmente ella está haciendo el doctorado en Ciencia, Tecnología y Sociedad en la Universidad de Quebec en Montreal. Dianne es parte de la Red Internacional para la Sostenibilidad en la Economía Circular, y este es una colaboración que es fruto de la RISEC entre la Universidad de Quebec y la UNAM. La tesis de Dianne es sobre la regeneración y de nuevos caminos para entender el mundo del mañana, algo que se relaciona totalmente con lo que nos va a presentar hoy. Y como parte del doctorado, ella participa en un proyecto de la universidad, específicamente el Instituto de Ingeniería, un proyecto que se ha estado llevando a cabo para identificar las huellas ambientales de Cisal en Yucatán, en donde ha estado trabajando y seguirá trabajando Dianne. Ya no ocupo más el micrófono, les cedo la palabra a Dianne y les doy las gracias a ustedes y a Dianne por estar aquí. Les pido un aplauso presencial o virtual. Gracias, adelante, Dianne.
Muchas gracias. Espero que la próxima vez puedo hacer la conferencia en Spanish, pero ahora vas a hacer en inglés. Thank you so much for being here, to take the time to be here. I feel very lucky to have I have the Spanish word now. to be here and to be introduced by you. A special thanks to the RISEC and to the CROD, because without them I would not be there. And thank you so much, Dr. Patricia and Dr. Yarari, para having me here. So let's go. Okay, so a little bit about myself. My name is Dianne. So I'm a PhD candidate in the Science, Technology and Society in the University of Quebec in Montreal. And I'm a part of a very dynamic and fortunate team, supervised by Nicolas Merveille. If you know him, you're very lucky. And so this is the group. Yeah. So just a little look about the actuality right now. The COP30 in Belém, Brazil just ended last week. So that was a climate negotiation and commitment. The goal of this summit is focused on trying to find a kind of a roadmap to meet Paris Agreement's goals. And those conversations, when they happen, they are based on big data, climate models, and that's how we think about climate, global climate in these institutions, and that help us to guide policies and to create a roadmap. So, meanwhile, 3,000 kilometers from Belém in the COP30, in an octopus cooperative, a friend, Antonio, is performing his daily monitoring, water temperature, tank oxygenation, and octopus feeding. So the question is, what is the connection between Antonio and the big data of the COP30? Well, when we try to connect with the biosphere in general, we do it through big data. Sorry, just okay. We do it through big data with numbers, stocks, inventories of the living world, and so big data excel at trying to grab these climate stocks, and it helps us to create projection and to have an idea of what's going on in the global level. And global climate discourse relies heavily on this aggregated data set. So that creates a narrative that focuses on future catastrophes. But, and there is a but, because if there is no but, there is no thesis. But actually, that's not what we see in the local level. What I saw, actually. Because in some places, the catastrophes already happened and we could expect the people to leave, but that's actually not what is happening. The catastrophe is giving birth to something else, a new mobilization, new system of solidarities, and other ways of being in the world. So they are actively reinventing new ways of living and to relate to the world. And this is the core of my thesis. I'm trying to understand these new solidarities, these new adaptative processes rooted in their histories and environment for forging alternative paths for coexistence. So this is this reality that I'm trying to document through ethnography. And this is my two distinct yet very resonant file sites. You have the cooperative, Octopus Cooperative in Sisal, Yucatan, when we have the lovely temperature of 30 degrees. And in the geothermal development of Siliquay, Fort Simpson in Canada, when we have the less nice temperature of minus 30 degrees. So I explore through those sites how these communities reinventing or rediscovering their relationship with the living world, with humanity, non-human. Yeah. So now let's go quickly into the methodology. I have 3 tables of methodology, but I won't go through them because it's a bit heavy. So if you have any questions, please ask me and I will be glad to answer them at the end. But mostly it's the early beginning of my thesis, so I only went to Sisal 45 days, so it's a very short period of time, and to Fort Simpson too. I went 3 times, only for a couple days every time. And I was there as a researcher for a social acceptability study. So that also gave me a kind of a opportunity to go there and to see what was happening. So this is the research of data collections and the limits. There is a lot. And so now let's go through the field site. So this is Sisal. It's a village who has been designated Pueblo Mágico in 2020. facing a really rapid and transformative dynamics since this appellation. As you can see on the picture on the left, is it live for you? Yeah. On the left, you have a big building, and it's really like the contrast between the little houses and the big building who has been built last year, I think. Really show the rapid transformation. In this context, we have also the fishing is collapsing in Sicily. 400 fishermen and their family depend on these resources. And right now, with the climate change consequences, it's changing completely. The fisherman has to go further on the sea, so it's a bit more dangerous. And the octopus catch used to be, on a good day, around 100 kilos on a good day, and now a good day is 20 kilos. So it's a strong change. In this context, we also have local resistance and challenges. A lot of tensions arise over land claim and ecological priorities in the face of tourism and climate pressure. So there is a lot of youth organizing to try to do some association between themselves, and you have a kind of horizontal web of this initiative that is very inspiring and very interesting to see. They work with social media most of the time to exchange good practices. Just a little example to show you how much this is changing and how fast it's changing. It's that Google Maps can't really keep up. On the top, you have a picture of Sisal, of the new building in yellow. The red stuff is the cooperative. And on the bottom, this is the building that doesn't appear in Google Maps. So you walk there, and it says that there is nothing, but actually there is a lot of infrastructure going on. With this new infrastructure, we also have frequent power outage. This is new for the town. It used to be, but now, like, I was there 2 months, and it happened twice for a couple of hours. Some people there are buying their own generator because the power is not reliable. The rising price of food also is impacting the daily life. A lot of people I talked to informally told me that it was getting more and more difficult to live there. So yeah, that's just a little example to show you how fast this is changing. And so in the middle of all that, we have what I like to call a cooperative of a relational laboratory. So the cooperative have been operated for 20 years. It has been created by Carlos Rosas, a professor from UNAM there in Sicily. It's operated since 20 years. The main focus and the main goal is to monitor the octopus reproduction. Because of the rising of the temperature, the octopus can't reproduce well. So this is the first objective of the cooperative, and the second one is, of course, to create and see if it's possible to create a sustainable aquaculture futures for the village. And it's also a place of multiple relationship with the octopus that I find very, very interesting. The octopus there is seen at the same time as a resource, so we can extract data, or we can sell it for money. We can just consume it to eat. But it's also a relational partner. So in this picture, you have Antonio, who is cutting the fish that will be given to the octopus every day, and he actually developed a relationship with the octopus, and it's very interesting to see that it's not only a way to produce, it's also a way to live, because Antonio was telling me that now he can't really eat octopus as he could before. He's a former fisherman, and before he had no problem, but now that he's taking care of them, feeding them every day, this is changing his relationship with the species. A little word also about Antonio. The cooperative is linked with UNAM, and because of that, it's seen as a kind of a symbol of power also from the rest of the village. And to continue his work, he has to cut ties with these entire families. So that's something that it's very, I think, important to highlight, that his work is not only his work, is when he's feeding the octopus, he's not only feeding the octopus, he's changing worlds, because he's passing from a fisherman to someone who work with the university. So in CISAL, a little word about l'UNAM. L'UNAM is perceived as a symbol of power, as I said, and it's this perception is rooted in the complex history of land ownership. So the cooperative was built on the land, who officially belong to the Mexican states, but which the local population perceive as considering belonging to them. So we are in the indigenous context, and those tensions are not little. It's not anecdotal. It runs through the entire relationship of the community and the university and the people. Actually, the question of the land is the main topic of the people there. So yeah, this is the cooperative I've been. I had the chance to work there a bit, and now, too bad. 700 kilometers north from CISAL, and other communities face transformations, but in a radical different context. It's in Cliclou, it's a Dene First Nation, the Dene indigenous community in the Northwest Territories in Canada. I mean, they are in Dene territories, but to find them on the map. So these two files resonate in a very troubling manner. A little bit of context. So Fort Simpson is a Dene indigenous communities, about 2,000 people. It's quite the same number of people than CISAL. And it's isolated by a single road. So on the picture, you can see the ice road. This is what we take during the winter because the lake froze and we drive then. And when it's summer, we use the ferry on the left, the big boat, the blue one. So the community face socio-economic and environmental challenges, including fishing, hunting decline, and permafrost melting. And it's actually a big problem in the community, the permafrost, because it creates waves on the road. And because when you go hunting, you need to take your car for, I don't know, like hours of driving. It's making it more difficult. On the second picture, you have a friend, Walter, who can't no longer go hunting far away because the price of gas. Because of course, when you go to hunt, you get to pay the price of the gas, and it's quite expensive there. The community is also facing increasingly threatening wildfire. So the picture here, it's not Fort Simpson, it's Hay River, but you can see the part on the top of the picture. It's wood who has been burned. This is the rest of a burning, and things. Hopefully, thanks the community wasn't touched by this fire, but you can see the main impact of it. And because I'm French, I had to put some cheese on the presentation, and so this is the price of cheddar. I don't think you can see, but it's 24 Canadian dollars for. I think it's 500 grams. So that's a lot. And it's getting more and more difficult to live there. And in the middle of these realities, we have hope that are incarnated in Clou-Clay with the development of geothermal energy. So the rising price of diesel is the main motives, but it's also because geothermal energy is respectful from the earth, and it's how can I say sustainable energy. It's also seen as for the community as a way to become more independent, because right now they are relating on the gas that is delivered to the community by the regional regional power. So it's a way for them also to gain more self-determination and independence. So it's not only a matter of energy. So now I'm gonna draw some echoes on the two field sides. Of course, they are very different. The stories there are completely different, and the geography and the history of the place are not really comparable. But I found some echo that I found interesting to share with you. So both communities are geographically isolated. I don't know if I said that, but Sisal you can only go in Sisal with one road. So it's the same for Fort Simpson. The population size are quite similar. We have comparable social dynamics and vulnerabilities. Each face infrastructural fragility impacting daily lives and community resilience. In Fort Simpson, we have a power cut. So you imagine when it's minus 30 and you have a power cut. This is crazy. The situation there. When that happened, it's actually quite interesting to see that you have a strong connection between everyone there, and so the young are going to see the elders are fine, because in a few hours you can just die. It's a very So we also have the same, not the same, but we have environmental pressure that threaten traditional livelihood, fishing collapse in Sisal, and climate impact and resource in Fort Simpson. And the autonomy and the question of autonomy and institutional frictions are quite, there is kind of a dialogue there. So Sisal Cooperative is seeking food sovereignty with this idea of creating a farm of octopus, while Fort Simpson pursue energy sovereignty with geothermal solution. We have also the same, I think, I'm really not sure about that, but I feel that this is the same friction about Sisal relationship with the UNAM, and especially the local power there in Unukma, who is the city that Sisal is linked with. When I was there last week, a conference, not a conference, it was a community meeting where it was happening. And the community is actually thinking about asking to be a municipality libre. So this is a path maybe they will take. I don't know, but at least it looks like a door to get more autonomy. So Fort Simpson also navigates tension with the territorial government over energy control and self-determination. And both community view autonomy efforts as intertwined with a broader political and cultural association of identity and rights. So to conclude the presentation, so the local in this situation is not to be opposed to global. I don't think it's the way to go, but it's more to understand the local as a way to understand the global. So the local is not a fixed point, but it's a network of relationship that linked people together, places, and living beings. It includes what is near, distant, what affect the community, the solidarities, and the sustained collective life. So these local networks are democratic laboratories where we have new practices that emerge, rooted in specific histories, geographics, and social ties. Communities redefine their interaction with the living world, creating new ways of inhabit their territories and maybe resist or try to find a new way than the top-down impositions. So these various local stories shapes futures that can help us to understand the world that is being created. On the picture, it's a picture I took when I was in the Northwest Territories last year. It's after a wildfire, and you have a little tree that is growing to show that when the catastrophe happened, life always finds new ways to emerge. And I will finish this presentation with a quote I really like. It's a quote from Anna Tsing, an anthropologist I really admire, plus Nico, of course. She said about research in general that it's important to not lose the pleasure of playing, being wary of any desire to fix things once and for all. Let the world appear in an unexpected light. Let's open ourselves to other forms, other voices, and the new combinations there to arise. This is where the idea and ethic are found. So yeah, it's a bit my mantra. That's it. Thank you so much. This is a picture of all the people that helped me on those sites, on the file. So yeah, you can't really do that work alone, right? So a huge thank to all of them. Thank you so much for your attention. Yep.
Muchas gracias, Dianne, por esta conferencia. Espero que sea una primera, ¿no?, discusión sobre el tema, ¿no? Dejas abiertas muchísimas líneas de reflexión, de discusión. Por el momento no tenemos preguntas en YouTube. No sé si aquí alguien del auditorio o Patti quieran hacer alguna pregunta. Un segundito solo para que quede registrada tu pregunta y te van a dar el micrófono.
No, muchas gracias, Dianne y todo el equipo de investigación. Me encanta tu trabajo, qué suerte haberte encontrado ahí para escucharte el día de hoy. Me quedo son reflexiones abiertas. El primero me impactó porque me gustó mucho que empezaras diciendo como lo del Big Data. Perdón, ¿te puedo preguntar en español?
No, está bien, está bien.
¿Está bien?
Sí, puedo entender.
Perdón
Está
por
bien.
no.
No te preocupes.
Entonces, entre esa conexión entre el Big Data y esos modelos climáticos que se discuten en las COP y estas historias locales, de ese gap, exactamente estás como problematizando algo concreto, porque me quedé como con esa pregunta del inicio, pensando qué parte específica como quieres trabajar o vas a ver qué va saliendo en el campo. Y lo otro, qué desafío de esos dos contextos, del CISAL y este contexto en Canadá. En el CISAL entiendo que te vas a centrar en la relación, en esta producción que hay de pulpos, pero no me quedó claro cómo esa relación con la naturaleza, con el medio ambiente, con el mundo vivo, con las especies, en el caso de Canadá, como qué vas a mirar exactamente. Y lo otro, por último, me encanta también que vayas a ver cómo esas adaptaciones, esa nueva forma de entender lo vivo, a partir de esa adaptación al cambio climático, y que compares dos contextos tan diferentes. Va a ser súper interesante ver los dos contextos, pero también porque en sus adaptaciones, estructuralmente, no sé, va a haber un montón de condicionantes de las diferencias de los propios países, ¿no?, que van a condicionar también esa adaptación, ¿no? Y entonces va a ser como comparar dos países tan diferentes no sé, va a ser muy interesante ver qué sale, ¿no? Así que bueno, deseando de saber más de tu trabajo, muchas gracias de nuevo. Como decía, son más bien reflexiones que me ha suscitado. Muchas gracias, Dianne.
Sí, sí, sí. Muchas gracias. Sí. Muchas gracias para tu preguntas. ¿Está bien si en inglés? Okay. So if I understood well, you were asking me what I will focus exactly on the two sides. Okay. 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 So no. It's really clear. So the idea is that big data show us a reality, a narrative that is very important for to have this conversation in this global scale. But I think it's missing. It is missing a reality that is not quantified, and this is hope. This is people who have dreams. It's in those kind of initiatives that I feel there is a gap there that we could maybe find a way to document, and that's why I will use ethnography to do that. Does that answer? Yeah. Okay. This is a bit more clear. Yeah. Thank you for your question because it's helping me also to to create a link. The second question was the relation with nature in Fort Simpson. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the relationship, the thing I'm trying to understand is how the cooperative will, or how does it change the way of relating to nature, and the in Fort Simpson, it's the link to create geothermal energy, and in both ways, it's what I think I'm seeing is there is an ontological change. So if you consider yourself being part of nature or with being outside of nature, and I feel that in Fort Simpson right now they are considering themselves part of nature. This is deep in the philosophy of the community, and in CISAL, I feel that it's not the case, but and surprisingly, the cooperative is creating that, I feel. And so this is so interesting because this is not what I was expecting at all. So yeah. Because for example, when you use octopus to as a resources, as it in a data to extract data from it, or as something that you will sell, it's the same thing. You explode the octopus, but it is also the same thing when you want to protect it, because you're outside of the octopus. And in the cooperative, I feel that they are creating this kind of new relationship. I think Donna Away called them companions, and it's, I think, what is happening there. I'm not sure because I was there not a long time, but yeah. And the last question was the difference. Okay. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. This is very interesting because I agree completely, and I was like, no, it's not possible to compare. But my brain was like, Yeah, it is. It is a bit, but we have something that is quite the same. It's how capitalism works, and it works yeah, it works the same in Fort Simpson and in Sisal. For example, in Fort Simpson, they are talking about creating a new road that will connect them in the north and in another city. And the question of what what kind of stuff will it bring, because it's a beautiful place if you want to see northern lights there, so it's the same kind of questions of development, tourism. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hola Dianne, muchas gracias por tu presentación. Hiciste muy bien y
Gracias.
es
Muchas
muy buen
gracias.
tema. Mencionaste que hubo un incendio en la zona boscosa de este pueblo, Seattle. No sé si lo pronuncio bien. ¿Cómo lo llamaste?
In English it's Fort Simpson, and in the
Fort
language
Simpson.
it's Silkwe.
Silkwe.
Silkwe. Sí.
¿Sabes la causa de este incendio?
No, there is a lot. There is a lot of them. I think it's the climate change that it's get the usually, because there is a lot of snow, the earth will absorb it, and during the summer it's very hot, but it's not that hot, and the earth is not so dry. But right now, because there is less snow, it's getting less cold and it's getting very warm. There is more and more wildfire, but I'm definitely not a specialist on that, so I give you an answer. But
Suena interesante y no sé si pueda existir una relación con que están afrontando problemas para obtener recursos, porque aquí en México sucede algo muy preocupante y es que ocurren estos incendios de forma accidental y después se ve un cultivo. No sé si esto sea posible en el contexto legal o ambiental.
no es el que se pasó, no es el caso, no, it's like I don't know exactly what burns, but it's like a lot. It's not focused to build stuff or no.
No deja de ser preocupante porque entonces asumimos que las condiciones ambientales ya están provocando daños
Sí, claro.
severos. Sí. Bueno, esa era mi pregunta. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. And also, I'm very open to collaborate if you want to, I don't know, create something. I forgot to tell it at the end, but thank you so much for your question, attention, and time. Okay, sorry.
Dianne, yo tengo dos comentarios, y uno es justo se relaciona con lo que mencionaba Israel. Quisiera saber si tú tienes en este momento identificados los problemas que se derivan del cambio climático en Sisal y en Chiquichiqui. ¿Sí? Porque es claro que los cambios en permafrost pues son una consecuencia directa totalmente y de mucha gravedad generados por el cambio climático. Luego el tema de los incendios también puede estar relacionado, pero también pueden ser incendios inducidos de manera intencionada o no intencionada por el humano, pero el permafrost es muy claro. Mi pregunta es, ¿tú tienes identificado en Sisal cuáles serían los problemas ambientales derivados del cambio climático? Y la otra pregunta sería, si en este momento, con las entrevistas que has hecho, con la introspección, con las visitas que has llevado a cabo, tú detectas que las personas en los dos pueblos relacionan algún problema con cambio climático o no se cuestionan qué es cambio climático si siguen adelante.
It's a very good question. So the first one about identifying like doing the identification of climate consequences of climate change. I think yes, but there is also a part of it that is because it's intertwined, right? Like the climate change and the impact of the how the people react to this climate change and create even more consequences. It's kind of like, for example, with the fishing. So the fishing is collapsing because of climate change, but also because the people used to have a lot, and now they don't have a lot of fish to sell. So there is kind of a panic, so they fish more, even if the fish need more time to reproduce and regenerate themselves and stuff. So it's kind of an entertain, but that's a very good point. I think getting some clarification on that would help. And for the second, what was the second?
If the person, if the people
Yeah.
recognize the climate
Oh,
change
yeah.
as the basis
Yeah.
of their environmental problem,
This,
or the
yeah.
economic problem.
This is so interesting. So I think in CISAL, yes, especially the youth, they are really connected to this kind of topic. But in Fort Simpson, I was quite, I don't know how to say that, but it was a life-changing moment where I was talking with someone, an elder, and we were talking about climate change and the wildfires and the burning and stuff. And she said to me, we don't need to protect the earth. We don't need to intervene in this wildfire. The earth is going to heal itself. We just need to remove ourselves from the process, right? And that's completely changed my vision of it, because for me, it was like, we need to do something. We need to find a way of course, because we want to solve the thing, right? And actually she was like, no, that's not how it works. And so this conversation really changed my way of seeing that. And I wouldn't know for sure what is exactly the knowledge or the way of relating to the consequence of climate change. I think in CISAL it's not their priorities. The priorities is getting out of poverty. That's quite clear. And I feel that in Fort Simpson, in the north, this is something that is, so the Dene values are very strong there. The indigenous context is, it's very alive and very, the values, Mother Earth, they all speak about Mother Earth. That's part of the, so that's another way. They consider themselves completely part of nature. That's why they relate so much on geothermal energy, because geothermal energy, basically, you create a hole and you use nature, but you relate with them. But even with this kind of development, they said they needed to do like ritual to ask for the earth and to create like the right condition to do it. Like, for example, not doing it in the winter, because in winter the earth is resting. So we need to drill in summer, those kind of stuff.
Muchas gracias, Diana. Ya estoy deseando que nos muestres los resultados.
Sí.
Y yo tengo muchas dudas, muchos comentarios, como por ejemplo el financiamiento. Es necesario que los países estén preparados con dinero para apoyar la adaptación. No sé si eso lo identificas o qué has identificado o qué vas a identificar. Más bien lo dejamos de tarea para no entretenerte más, seguramente más preguntas, pero ya se necesita invertir, ya sea en CISAL o ya sea en Canadá. Y aquí, ¿cuál es la respuesta que tienen los gobiernos? Ya hay una respuesta, ya hay presupuestos asignados para decir, aquí se va a necesitar hacer esto. vamos, y esa sería otra pregunta para el final de tu trabajo. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Muy interesante.
Pues muchas gracias, Dianne. Creo que estás abriendo conversaciones varias que seguiremos más adelante, pero yo quisiera hacerte una última pregunta, si me permites. Y antes de esta conferencia estábamos platicando, Dianne y yo, sobre varios ejemplos en donde destacábamos como el poder de la esperanza, ¿no? De cómo es. Bueno, voy a formular, espero, un poquito más clara la pregunta sin este antecedente. Mi pregunta sería, inicias tu conferencia hablando de los como macrodatos y espacios como la COP, ¿no? Que se renuevan. Y en general, los macrodatos nos llevan a documentar un colapso y en los distintos ámbitos internacionales vemos una narrativa del colapso cada vez más preocupante y más extrema que, sin embargo, no pareciera estar llevando a una acción contundente. Sí, vemos acciones desde hace 20, 30 años, pero ya hay generaciones enteras que han crecido en la narrativa del colapso sin que esto se convierta en un cambio sustancial en la forma en que pues, vivimos y nos relacionamos con el mundo. Y por otro lado, vemos a los actores más vulnerables en distintos puntos del mundo que están viviendo el colapso, que tienen todo en contra en términos ambientales, pero sobre todo en términos económicos y políticos, que ellos sí apuestan por la esperanza de seguir, tal vez porque no queda otra opción, pero teniendo como, la disyuntiva es teniendo menos recursos y mayor vulnerabilidad, sí apuestan por un futuro. Yo lo que te quisiera preguntar entre no solamente nos estás hablando del Polo Norte y del Caribe, sino de los macrodatos y la etnografía, ¿qué crees que tenga que aprender, no, o qué aporta, qué mensajes son como importantes, qué le pueden enseñar la etnografía y estas historias cotidianas que apuestan por la esperanza a las narrativas institucionales del colapso generadas a partir de los datos?
So I think that the big data we use them, especially climate activists and all that, we want to impulse change. But I think that change happens when our affects, our emotions are meeting another emotion that is stronger. And so these diverse narratives, these different stories are rooted in the heart and not in the brain. And I think this is what I'm hoping to do at the best of my abilities, to use ethnography, to write stories, their stories, to amplify their voices in the aim of inspiring the change that we are still waiting for.
Pues, muchas gracias. Si no hay más preguntas, creo que podemos dar por terminada la sesión de hoy. Les pido un aplauso, otro aplauso por estas maratónicas respuestas. Y pues a mí no me queda más que invitarles a estar más o menos atentas a las comunidades de RISEC, porque la intención, que todavía no tenemos como tal una agenda establecida, es mantener estas conferencias en donde, o sea, que RISEC se vuelva un espacio para compartir investigaciones y preguntas, no solamente resultados, creo yo.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.